Hi, my name's Josh and I'm with Gildando News. Today we'll be interviewing one of the most famous dentists around, named Dr. Milad. He's also known as the singing dentist. Let's get into it.
Hi, my questions are what made you want to become a dentist and what is the highlight of your career?
Great question, Jack. Thank you. So what made me want to be a dentist? So I guess I was always good at science in school. And I kind of, from young, my mom and dad sort of always wanted me to be a doctor. And they kind of drilled it into me that you must be doctor, son. So basically, I just kind of, always, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a doctor, not quite knowing what that meant. And so when it came time to actually make life choices, and I did my GCSEs, did quite well in all the sciences. So I thought, okay, A-level wise, what A-levels do I need to become a doctor? And it was all the sciences and maths and things like that. So I chose those. Then when it was UCAS time, I don't know if it's still UCAS these days, but that's where you apply to go to university. A big element was work experience, and I'd never done any. So I went to hospital and I followed a doctor around and hated it. And then I went and sat with my dentist and loved it. And I thought, okay, dentistry is the one then. So that's genuinely how I ended up choosing dentistry. It gave me an opportunity to use all the scientific knowledge, all of that stuff, but it's also 9 to 5. So I could go home at 5 o'clock, and I always wanted that type of element in my career. And it's a very people facing job. And I was always very good with people. So I had good manual dexterity. It just ticked all the boxes for me. So that's why I chose dentistry. And I haven't looked back. So that's very good. And what was the second part of your question? So why did I choose dentistry? And what's the highlight? Oh, what's the highlight of my career? In dentistry, I guess the highlight of my career is probably being voted like the #1 most influential dentist in the UK, like 3 years running. That was pretty cool. Having never been on that list ever to suddenly get it, I guess because of the singing dentist thing, right? It obviously opened up a lot of doors for me to talk about dentistry in the media and bring some positivity into it. So that, I guess, is a bit of a highlight. But really, to be fair, when you change someone's confidence, when you help them with their teeth, they're mini highlights every day. And I know it sounds a bit cheesy, but it's genuinely true, man. And when patients are so appreciative of what you do for them, that just makes you feel great. So yeah, lots of highlights, but probably that. And I guess meeting Ed Sheeran, that was pretty cool as well. After I did my Ed Sheeran parody, his team got in touch with me and I managed to go backstage at the Royal Albert Hall when he was doing a concert there for the Teenage Cancer Trust. And I met him backstage. And actually, he would walk past me and then came back and goes, "Oh, you're the singing dentist." Oh, my God. Yes, I am. Hello. So I got to meet Ed and we had a nice little chat backstage. And that was it. So that's definitely a highlight as well.
That's a very big achievement, especially 3 times in a row.
I know. Actually, to be fair, I have won it 4 times now, but it was 3 times in a row. So, no.
Next up is Amber, if Amber's here.
Why did you decide to do singing on YouTube?
Why did I decide to do singing on YouTube? Thank you, Amber. So, like I said a bit earlier, it was a bit of an accident. So the first ever parody I did, I'd never meant to do it. Just a patient didn't turn up for root canal treatment. And so I had some time on my hands and I just started rapping along because I used to rap and I can freestyle and stuff. And I just started talking about root canal. I thought it was funny. So I took out my phone and filmed myself doing it. And then I sent it to a friend of mine and he thought it was funny. So he put it online in a Facebook group. So this was in 2015. So Facebook was kind of early days. Instagram didn't even exist then. And the only other platform was YouTube. And so once I thought, okay, people seem to quite like what I've done, let me do more of it, I created a YouTube channel because at the time that was the only real kind of outlet for video media. Facebook was all about kind of, posting photos and speaking to relatives abroad and having friends. So it wasn't really about content. So I just put it on YouTube and called myself the singing dentist and started making songs up every few months. So that's why I started it, just to carry on from what I saw people seem to enjoy. And I thought it'd be a great vehicle to talk about dentistry, give some oral health messages, be positive, be funny, and hopefully people will enjoy it. And touch wood, it's been all right.
I read online that your nurse, if I'm not wrong, got in contact with the local press. And obviously that helped spiral the amount of features you were getting in the press.
Exactly.
How important would you say she was in helping, to be where you are today?
Oh, massive. Because if she hadn't got in touch with the press, then well, yeah, it was the local paper, exactly. Yeah, so she got in touch with them and said, "Oh, my boss is doing these, really funny videos, but they're actually impacting a lot of people and helping them improve their oral health." Because I was getting back such amazing messages and such great response to the videos, and people telling me, children were brushing better because they'd seen my songs or they're using my songs. I always tried to make the songs 2 minutes long, so you could actually use them for brushing your teeth because you're supposed to brush for 2 minutes. So people were using them. I was getting nervous patients messaging me saying, "Oh my God, I've been terrified of dentists for years, but now seeing your videos has given me the inspiration to go." Even today, I'm still getting videos, comments like that, and messages to me saying, "I spoke to you 2 years ago and I was so nervous, but look at my teeth now. Thank you so much." And I was, oh my gosh, I'm really I'm helping people so much just by singing songs. So that's what kind of spurred me on to keep doing it. But if it wasn't for my nurse alerting the press to that, it wouldn't have gone where it went, because from one thing, I got into the Metro newspaper. From that, ITV News talked about it. Then they invited me on. Then a TV show, daytime show, started talking about it. And the following week, they invited me on live to do a bit. So it really kind of started escalating from that. So that was definitely one of the most pivotal moments in the stages of the singing dentist development.
Thank you for that. Next up, we have Oliver.
Other than science, what did you take for GCSE?
Oh gosh. So GCSEs, I did maths, English, literature and English language, obviously because they were separate. I don't know if they still are. I did triple science. So obviously chemistry, biology, physics. Then I did geography. I did sports studies. I did German. And I also did French, because I think we had to do French. French was compulsory. But I also chose German and geography and sports studies. And sports studies, actually, I don't know if you're familiar with this, it's not just about kicking a ball, my friend. Oh no, there's a lot of science in sports studies as well, a lot of anatomy, physiology, and actually helped me a lot with the dentistry side. But there was also kicking the ball around, and I was quite good at sports and stuff as well. So yeah, those are the ones I did. I think I got 3 A stars, 6 A's and a B.
Which one?
B in geography. I mean, who needs geography anyway? There's no geography teachers here, are there? Sorry, guys. If you enjoy geography, go for it. It's great. Stalagmites and stalactites and land shifting and stuff. Tectonic plates.
Which was your favourite GCSE to do?
What was my favorite GCSE? To be fair, sports studies, genuinely, because it was such a great mix of science and activity. So I really, really enjoyed it. But I liked maths as well. Don't ask me why. It just clicked for me. I just got maths. So I did maths A level as well. Yeah, I always liked maths. So maths and sports studies. And I would probably say English as well, because my English teacher was amazing and very inspirational. So you always remember a good teacher.
What would you say to those taking their GCSEs? What would your advice be, because they're next week?
Oh my gosh, really? Next week? Why are you guys here? You should be studying. What is this 30 minutes you've taken out of your studying day to be here doing this? I would say study, obviously, be prepared for it. Exam technique. There is a technique to doing exams. Certainly, that's what we were told. So read through the whole paper first. I'm sorry if your teachers totally disagree with this and they're telling you, I'm telling you something completely different, but this is the way I did it. So you can know everything, but then you sit down and the exam's right there and you just have a mind blank because you think, oh my God, I don't know anything. All this stuff I've studied, I've totally forgotten. So I've done this in every exam my whole career. I don't even touch the pen or pencil or whatever. I just read through the whole paper from start to finish, because reading through it, you then start to realize, actually, you know what? I do know quite a lot of the stuff. And then I go through and I answer all the questions that I 100% know. And I know definitely easy. And I know I've got some scores on the board then that gives you some confidence. And then you can spend a bit more time, maybe on the ones you're not so sure of, as opposed to wasting time on those ones without having even answered the ones that you know. So there you go. Exam technique, speak to your teachers, learn some exam technique, because you can get grades for doing the stuff that you 100% know. Am I right? Sorry. Is that good advice? There you go. Yes, she's agreeing. Woohoo. So there. And if you haven't prepared enough, then you've only got a week. So knuckle down.
Thanks for that. That's some good advice. Next up, we have Jensen. So Jensen asks, where is your dentist surgery based, and have you seen a rise in patient numbers?
Yeah, good question. So my clinic is based in Basingstoke in Hampshire. I'd never heard of it either. But when I was studying in dental school, so I went to the Royal London Dental Hospital. So it's part of Queen Mary's, Barts and the Royal London. That's in East London. And I was raised in Southwest London. And then just towards the end of when we were kind of applying for jobs, my oral surgery tutor said, look, a friend of mine's got a clinic in Basingstoke and he's looking for someone. So if you're interested, I can connect you. And I was like, I have no idea where that is, but sure, connect me. And then I really liked the guy. I loved the practice. So that's where I started my first ever job in 2004. And I stayed there and I've been there ever since. And he sold me the business. I took over from him and I'm still there. So I've actually been at the same clinic for 18 years. I have patients who I'm the only dentist they've ever seen in their entire life. They came to me when they were 2 years old. They're now all gone to uni. They're all grown. They're all taller than me. And I used to see them when they couldn't speak. So yes, it's amazing when you get to stay in one place and really see that. And I look after generations now. So nanny comes, mom and dad come, and the kids come, which is fantastic. It's a very unique and lucky situation to be in. So yes, it's in Basingstoke in Hampshire. And yes, I have seen a massive increase in patients. People now come from all over to see me because with social media, they feel like they know you. And so if they know you, you can almost already build that rapport with patients where they're just a lot more happy to be around and they know I'm not going to hurt them. They know that they can talk to me openly. So people come from all over. I've got patients that fly from other countries now just to see me. So it's quite remarkable what social media has done.
Thank you for that. How do you juggle the business side of it and the media? Because obviously that's quite a lot to do.
It is a lot. So, there's only 7 days, my friend, and I've got two beautiful children. They're 8 and 6, and they take a lot of time too. And it's just good planning. My wife is super supportive. So she's a teacher. So I have a timetable for everything in my life, which is great. And as long as you stick to the timetable, you get stuff done. So yeah, it's literally just planning and making sure you allocate enough time to things. And then if something needs more time, you just reapply and rejig. So I like it like that though. I've always been quite a kind of entrepreneurial type of person. If I do one thing for too long, I get a little bit kind of antsy and a bit not bored, but I need variety. So I like doing lots of different things, but that's just my personalities. Other people will feel differently and like different things. So that's how I managed to do it. Good planning.
You also mentioned you have patients flying from all over the place.
Yes.
Where's the furthest somebody's come to visit your dental practice?
Zimbabwe. That's pretty far. I get a lot of people coming from all over Europe, so obviously that's a bit closer. But yeah, I think Zimbabwe is probably the furthest. To be fair, she does also have a place here, so she doesn't fly in for a checkup and go. Like she does come and tie it in with sort of seeing relatives and friends, and she'll have her checkups when she's here. But she literally won't have anyone do any treatment ever. So if she needs something doing, she'll plan a trip home, and then I'll see her. So yeah, it's cool, man. It's a nice feeling to know people trust you that much. I am planning on retiring soon though, so she'll have to find someone else. I'm joking.
But they're in very safe hands, obviously.
Oh, thank you.
Now we're over to Chase.
Hey, so where'd you get your confidence and your public speaking abilities from?
That's a great question. I think to a certain extent, it was just kind of part of me and my personality. So I do think some people just have a natural affinity to be confident speaking or performing or entertaining. For others, it doesn't come naturally, or they're very shy and just never have that sort of interest to do it, which is absolutely fine because if we were all exactly the same, the world would be a pretty boring place. So we need to have variety in life. However, there are skills that you can learn. So if you are a little bit more nervous about public speaking or you feel like you lack confidence, there are skills you can absolutely learn. You can learn to induce confidence in yourself. You can learn to portray confidence even if you don't feel like you have it inside. So these are things that you can kind of work on, and there's tools out there that will help you develop that. A lot of it is practice. A lot of it is preparation. A lot of the time we're nervous because we don't know what's going to happen or we're not prepared. People get nervous to give speeches, but if you prepare the speech, you practice it, you rehearse it, you know what you're going to say, you don't have to worry about that element of it. So then it's just about getting over the nerves and saying it and enjoying that position that you're in. So you can practice it. But for me, I was always like that, just even from a child. I would learn songs, I'd perform them, I'd dance on stages. If there was a talent show at school, I'd be doing something. I was always very bubbly. I wasn't shy. And that was just in my personality, I guess.
Thank you. Next up is Caitlin.
How did you feel when you went viral for the first time?
Thank you, Caitlin. What a lovely question. Viral. Yes, very shocked, I would say, was the first kind of emotion. Quite sort of, oh my gosh, I can't believe the numbers are going up so much. The first viral video I had was actually posted by a different page. So like Lad Bible and these other kind of pages, they're still around now, but we're talking probably 2016, so like 6 years ago. They picked up on one of my videos because people were just sharing it and they posted it. And then it went on to have something like 28 million views or something on their page. And I just could not believe that it was just going up and up and up. I'd kind of refresh it and then there'd be like another couple of 100,000 views. And I thought, oh my gosh, refresh again, another couple of 100,000 views. And then it started turning into followers. So I'd go onto my page and genuinely overnight, I gained like 100-something thousand followers. And then it just started ballooning and yeah, very surprising, exciting. And I've got to also say nerve-wracking, because you think, oh my gosh, all these new people are now watching me. The next thing I do has to be amazing. And so it brings pressure, you know, pressure to make sure you keep posting, pressure to make sure you keep doing good content. So it's difficult. It's not an easy thing to kind of embrace, and you have to adapt to it, but it's amazing fun. And, you know, the first time was awesome. Then when it happened again, when I did the Ed Sheeran one, it went super viral. So super viral is when you go like 100 million plus. Yeah, and that one did some unbelievable numbers, global. I was on Australian TV, German TV, French TV. Ed saw it himself. They talked about it on Radio 1. That one was just unbelievable. So yeah, it's very humbling and also very exciting at the same time.
How was your experience? Obviously, because with fame comes fans, meeting them in the public. What was your first experience meeting someone like?
I think genuinely it was in Tesco. And I think it was the cashier lady. As she was kind of bringing the stuff, she kept sort of looking up at me, and then she was like, boop, boop. And she was kind of doing her job and just kept staring at me. And I was like, oh my God, this is really awkward. Like, does she think why have I bought these items or food or what? And then she goes, look, sorry, I've just got to ask, are you that dentist bloke off the internet? I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I am. Hello. I can't believe you recognized me. And so that was crazy. I left there and I called my wife. I was like, oh my God, the Tesco woman just recognized me. And then from there, it just started happening a bit more and more. So, and now it happens at least a few times a week. Which is amazing, because it means people have seen the stuff, they've liked it, it's been memorable. I think the fact that I've got a bald head, a beard, and a big nose, and the crazy eyebrows, that helps, because it's quite a unique, distinctive face, isn't it? So I can't ever lose this face. You know, this is it now. I'm destined to look like this forever. If people want to recognize, and it's so funny, people will look and they'll kind of, I can tell like they sort of might know, so I'll just look at them and go, and they go, oh, dentist. So that's like the trademark now, lifting up the eyebrow seems to be it. So yeah, it's nice. It's nice that when it happens, and people are always so complimentary, and they say they enjoy the content, which is nice.
Next up is Anna.
My question is, would you sing to your patients?
Oh my gosh, I do every day. I absolutely would. Yes. Yeah, especially now, obviously, because I'm the singing dentist, right? They kind of almost half expect me to burst into song every time they walk through the door. So I don't. Obviously, we have to still keep it professional when they're in the room, but it can help to break down barriers. It can make nervous people less nervous when they're in the chair, because it can be quite a daunting place, a dentist. As long as you look after your teeth, dentistry doesn't ever have to be bad. So we're there to help. We're not there to hurt or do horrible things to people. So it can help that element a bit. If patients ask me to sing something for them, I'll break out a little bit of song, but I have music around me at all times. So my surgery, the radio is playing, or there's some music on, I will hum along to it. A lot of the time as well, obviously, because I'm wearing a mask, and we're all used to wearing masks now, right? We're seeing people's upper part of their face. So this is all they see of me. So even though the song's playing, I'll give them a little eyebrow dance while they're there, so they can see a bit of, and I kind of hypnotize them with the eyebrows so they don't feel anything while they're in the chair. So yes, I do sing to them occasionally, and if they want a duet, I'm more than up for it.
A duet with a singing dentist, that must be fun. Next up is Ben.
How do you incorporate your career into your videos to inform people about good dental hygiene?
So the way that the kind of the parodies or the songs will come about is they will either the song comes first. So for example, there'll be a song that is globally humongous. Everybody knows it. It's in the charts. It's #1. Everybody loves it. And so it just makes sense to write something to it because everyone knows it. And the way I write the songs, I'm always because of my lyrical background and my musical background, I kind of know how to structure a song, and I'll keep the words very similar to the original, but obviously change them to talk about teeth. So when you hear my version, it's very similar to the original. So it's almost like you're enjoying the original, but I'm telling you about teeth, and I'm ruining the original for you because I'm telling you about teeth. So there's a skill to writing a good parody. So either the song comes first, or I'll have a subject and I think, okay, I want to do a song about teeth whitening, let's say. So then I'll try and find a song that would match teeth whitening. So like grease lightning, that would work because that's very similar. I haven't done that. That just literally came to me now. What a great song. But it'll be that type of way of doing it, right? And then once I've got the song, I very quickly write it myself. I've got a studio at home, so I'll get the music part ready. I'll do the instrumental and I'll chop it down so that it's like a minute. I don't do them 2 minutes anymore, because most of the platforms like TikTok or Insta or whatever, they favor 1 minute videos, and people's attention spans are like 3 seconds these days. So you have to capture them quickly and keep them there for as long as you can. So I'll have a 1 minute version of the song. Then I go into my clinic, put on my dental clubber, put my phone on a tripod, make sure everyone's left because I don't want anyone in the building. It's rather embarrassing. And then I just record it and that's it. Add the subtitles and upload it. That's it. I'm a one-man band. Me, myself, and I.
Thank you for that. Next up is Harry.
What motivates you when you're writing your lyrics?
Great question, Harry. What motivates me when I write my lyrics? Yeah, I kind of sort of answered it before. So it'll be obviously trying to make it about teeth or make it at least about health. I could write songs about anything, right? I could start writing songs about politics or the weather or whatever, but it just wouldn't be relative to being the singing dentist, right? I'm a dentist, so I should talk about teeth and giving oral health structure. So that's where the motivation comes. And really to keep doing it is the feedback I get from people. You know, the fact that people see it, they like it, they're commenting on it, it's helping them to not be so scared of the dentist or brush their teeth better or look after it. And then they're reaching out to me to ask me questions. And, you know, I do make time to do it. It's intense and it's a full-time job, but I do always try and make time for people that have reached out to me. So, yeah, that's what keeps the motivation going, but it's not easy. I have to say there are times where I'll kind of be sitting there and I think, oh gosh, I haven't posted anything in ages. I need to make some content. And then again, it comes down to planning, but you know, life gets busy sometimes, you get loads of other stuff going on. So finding that motivation all the time, it comes in waves, you know, but I really enjoy what I'm doing and that's where the motivation comes from.
Across the Priory Learning Trust, we have many budding musicians like yourself.
Excellent.
You create many different amazing parodies, as we all know. What would your advice be to those who want to write their own lyrics to a song?
Oh, do it, 100%. You only get better at these things by doing it and just practicing it and then singing it out loud. Oh, I don't like that bit. Write it, sleep on it, come back to it the following day. And when you've got fresh ears, you've got fresh mind, you might think, oh gosh, that line is rubbish. And then you'll change it because you'll find something else. So don't be afraid to try things. We learn way more from our failures than we do from our successes. If everybody just succeeded every single time, you'd never grow. You'd never learn anything because you're just doing the same thing. And you kind of end up staying in your comfort zone. You don't push the boundaries of what you're capable of as a human being. So just do it. Go for it. You don't have to let anybody see it. If you're particularly shy or nervous about how it's going to be perceived or you think it's rubbish, it probably isn't rubbish. So just do it. And then that's the only way you get better. Practice, right? Professional footballers don't become amazing by just thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to be good at football. They practice football hours upon hours. So if you want to write songs, write 1,000 songs. And then hopefully by the 999th, you'll be pretty good at it. So that's the only, just do it. Just do it.
Thank you. Sophia is up next.
Have you inspired any of your colleagues to sing parodies?
So, Sophia, great question. They say imitation is the highest form of flattery. There have been other singing dentists that I've seen that, well, as in not, they don't call themselves singing dentists. But yeah, other dentists have been singing since I've been doing it, which is great, to be fair. I don't mind. There's always going to be the original, isn't there? There's always going to be one. But no, I generally don't mind people doing it because, again, what we're trying to show is that, you know, dentists are human. When we're funny people too, don't be afraid of us, and it's fine. You know, there's 10 million painters in the world. Doesn't mean any one painter is better than the other. There's a market for everybody. So there's no reason why there can't be other dentists that sing. But I have seen a massive increase in the something dentist. So we have the dancing dentist, the cooking dentist, the foodie dentist, the property dentist, the everything you can think of dentist. So yeah, I don't mind people doing it, and as long as they're doing it well and they're doing it for the right reasons. If they're doing it because they feel I've done it and I've got successful, so they want to copy me because they want to be a social media success, I'm not so cool with that, because that's just not very organic. But if they're doing it because they genuinely have a passion for music and they're good at it, go for it.
Good answer. Next up is Amy.
Hi, my question is, how did your family react to you posting videos on social media?
So thank you. Great question, Amy. So my dad initially was actually, not to be fair, when I first did it, they kind of were like, oh yeah, okay, it's another one of your music things, is it? Because I've always done music things, and I was always involved with music, and they were kind of, I wouldn't say half expecting it, but they're like, oh, that's pretty funny, that's cool. I don't think they ever thought it would become a thing or kind of go viral or whatever it was. So they were supportive. I was, when was it? So 2015. So yeah, it was only like 7 years ago. So I was a grown up. So I kind of did it, and they were very supportive of it initially. But then when it obviously started going super viral, my dad was loving it, because being a musician himself and kind of steering me away from the music life towards the dentistry side. But now seeing the effects that it's had and seeing that I'm so happy doing it, obviously parents just want the best for their kids, right? So for them to see me happy, they're super supportive, and all the stuff that's come off the back of it, they're like my number one fans. So whenever I do telly or whatever, my mum will record it and stick it on her Facebook page and broadcast it to all of her friends in Iran and all across the world, basically. So yeah, they're super supportive now and very proud of their son. So it's good. I'm very pleased.
The next question is from Evie, but sadly she can't make it, so I will ask it for her.
Okay.
Evie's question is, how do your patients react in real life?
In real life, so now my patients are, to be fair, I haven't changed as a dentist, right? So some people are like, oh, are you charging 5 times now because you're famous? Not at all. I genuinely still charge exactly the same things I've charged forever. So not much has changed in terms of my business and the way I do things. I didn't want it to be a thing. I didn't want to, leverage the fact that I'm the singing dentist to just charge people more money or make myself more difficult to see and all this kind of snobby stuff. They're very happy that they come, and a lot of the time they'll come in and tell me that, when I tell my friends my dentist is singing dentist, no one believes me. Can I have a selfie? I'm like, yeah, of course. Of course you can. So I think they're quite proud of the fact that their dentist is famous, if you like. And yeah, it's cemented that relationship a bit more, and they are very understanding, because a lot of the things as well that I have to do. So for example, the TV stuff, it's always very short notice, because there'll be something breaking in the news, and genuinely there'll be times where I'll get a call at like 9 p.m. and they'll say, oh, hi, we know this story about children's teeth is going to come into the press tomorrow. Can you come into the studio at 5 a.m.? Dude, that's like 8 hours. I'm not even shaved. I have to shave my head now in the evening because of this phone call. And then I've got a day of patients the next day. So, my receptionist then has to call them up and say, hi guys, sorry, Dr. Milad's not going to be here today because he's going to be on telly. So we have to reschedule you. So that can get very frustrating for people, right? But thankfully, they're all very supportive and they'll tune in and watch me and stuff. So yeah, I'm lucky that they are supportive of it.
Sounds like it's almost like a community at your dental practice.
It really is. And to be fair, it's because it's been a long established dentist, and I've been there 18 years. And the previous dentist, who was, my boss, and I took over from him, he was there like 30 years. So we have looked after that kind of community for a long, long time. So yeah, thankfully we have a great group of patients, and they're very nice to us, and we are equally nice to them.
Next up is James.
Have you ever felt like giving up your singing career because of the pressure of creating new songs?
That is a really good question, and quite a deep one, James. Well done. Yes, no, let me rephrase. I've never thought of giving it up, because I feel like it may not, but it might fizzle out. And I've kind of half expected it to fizzle out constantly, because social media is a thing where things go viral real quick and then they're forgotten about real quick because something else comes along and replaces it. But with what I've done, and I've been doing it for the past now 6 years and still growing and still new people finding it and discovering it and enjoying it, it's because it's so kind of niche. And also my strategies for it, I haven't really kind of battered it, right? I don't bring out a song every week or every day. I'm just not, because people will very quickly get bored of it. Oh my gosh, not this guy again. So I do let it go in waves. And that's what you've got to understand. There's always going to be highs. There's always going to be lows. And as long as you're prepared for that and you're aware of it and that becomes the normal, then you cope with it. People that get the high and then they expect that my life's going to be on a high forever now, when they get a dip, that's when they have, you know, issues, or that's when they think, oh my God, I need to quit, and they can get quite sad about things. So it's about knowing what the normal thing is and accepting the low part, because you know there's going to be an amazing high part coming at some point soon. And you just take it in your stride. And I'm very lucky that I've got an amazing support network that helps me with that. My wife, my kids, my parents, my friends, my colleagues, dentistry as an industry. I'm very lucky that I've been supported so well by so many. And that's what I think it comes down to, having good people around you that keep it real and just being aware of what it is you're doing and never believing your own hype. That's a good one. Never believe your own hype, my friend.
Next up is Sasha.
Hi, my question is, if a genie granted you 3 wishes, what would they be and why?
If a genie granted me 3 wishes. Wow. Have you guys seen Aladdin, yeah? You know how dangerous wishes are, right? Terrible. Okay. What wishes? Blimey. That's probably the hardest question I've been asked. I'd want to end world hunger and suffering for all. I don't know. Wow, that stumped me, to be fair. What 3 wishes would I ask for? Happiness, genuinely happiness and health for, you know, people that need it. Everybody would have great teeth. That would be nice. And then my 3rd wish, let's see, it depends. If the genie is a nice genie, then I'd free him like Aladdin did, right? But if the genie is horrible, then my final wish would be that you just stay in there forever. You meanie genie. We don't want you. So yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. Wishes, I think wishes are dangerous. It's nice to think, oh, I'll have loads of money, but with loads of money comes loads of problems. So, you know, you always have to be careful what you wish for. There's always a dark side, possibly, to wishes. So thanks for that question. That's actually the most difficult one to answer, Sasha. Thank you very much. You thought outside of the box there. I like it. Nice.
Thank you.
What are your 3 wishes then? Go on. Yeah, see? Not easy, is it?
I
don't know. Oh, kidding. Thank you, Sasha. She's logged off. She's like, I'm off. Forget this. I'm not answering this. See you later.
Good question. Next up is Kieran Watts.
What first gave you the idea for your unique style of content, and how do you think TikTok has changed the way people consume it?
Oh, wow. Great question. So the concept just happened as an accident, like I said, because I had no patient. And so when I took out my phone, obviously it's on a selfie, right? And you hold it vertically. So I just started singing into it like so. And then the eyebrows started doing their crazy. I don't know what happened with the eyebrows. It was never meant to be a thing. They just went off on one. So, and then people liked that. So I thought, okay, well, that's got to be the content then, right? There's no point immediately changing it and doing a million crazy other things. Let's just do the next one like that again. And they liked that. And I was always wearing the same top that I was wearing that day. So I just repeated it because they obviously liked it. And I think because it's vertical, that immediately helps with vertical platforms on social media. I'm staring right down the barrel. So it's like I'm looking at you and I'm singing it to you. And this is what you see. It's this frame here. So it seems a bit more personal, like I'm singing directly to you. And people just seem to like it. I have done a few where it's been like a big production. Like I did a Thriller Michael Jackson thing. That was so much fun. It's one of my favorites to do. But that was with a, you know, proper music video people. And I got dancers. It was my nephew's dance hip hop crew. And we kind of sorted out the Thriller dance. And that was awesome. But people just loved me and a phone. So that's what made the content. the accident first time and I replicated it. And the second part to your question, how do I think TikTok has changed things? It's massively changed things because anybody now can be a content creator with one of these. That's all it takes. Pick up your phone, think creatively, do something, stick it online. And if people like it, they'll watch it. And if they don't like it, do something else. If that's what you want to do, just keep going. It's allowed you to be creative with a very simple tool. When I was your age, you needed a video camera and someone to do the lighting, someone to hold the microphone, and then you needed someone who was really good at editing it. And now you can just do all of that on this. Great. So there you go. That's how I think TikTok has changed it. And it's allowed people to do it for themselves and digest it. But with that comes bad things as well. I think a lot of people get dependent on it, and it's become a thing that it could be dangerous. The whole social media thing, if you get a bit too caught up and wrapped up in it, it could take over the real world because you spend so much time in the digital world.
That's a really good answer. Thank you for that. Next up is Darcy.
What do you do about hate if you get any?
I have had it, of course. Look, if you start going viral and if you're going to put yourself out there and make content and show yourself to the world, 100% you're going to get trolled. Sadly, that is part of the internet and you won't escape it. There could be a video of the most cutest little cat and it's just walking along looking cute and someone will troll that. Oh, I hate cats. I wish all cats would die. I'm like, dude, what happened to you and cats? So you're never going to please everybody in the world. It's impossible. So if you're in the mindset and you enter this thinking everyone's going to love me, and then the minute you get a bad comment, it's going to really affect you. But you need to enter it thinking, I'm very aware that not everyone's going to like this. But if out of 1,000 comments, 999 of them are great and one of them is bad, you can't dwell on that one bad one because you're never going to please everybody. Look at the 999 people that have loved it and enjoyed it and you've helped. So you just got to put things in perspective. Now, for me, I've had hate, I've had trolling, I've had terrible comments, stuff that I wouldn't repeat in this lovely group of young people here. But it hasn't affected me at all. And it hasn't put me off doing it because I'm very good at putting it into perspective. And I'm very good at knowing I've helped so many other people and so many other people have enjoyed it, that those one or two don't bother me. And I don't even entertain it. I don't reply because sometimes people even just say nasty stuff because they just want to get a reply. So I just don't give them that satisfaction or give them that opportunity to reply. Although I have to say a couple of times, I've just thought, let me kind of mess with them a little bit. So, they've said something horrible and I've replied, thank you so much for that feedback. It has been taken on board and I will make sure not to do that next time. And then they reply, oh my God, I can't believe you replied. I'm such a fan. I'm like, dude, how are you a fan? You were just so horrible. So a lot of the time people just want it because they just want attention, right? So don't let it get you down. Just keep doing you, just keep being positive, do what you're happy doing. And as long as it makes you happy, someone else out there will be happy too.
Thanks for that. Next up is Hamzin. Her question was, what's something you'd wish you'd known when first starting to do YouTube and TikTok?
Oh, what's something I'd wish I'd known? Probably, that's another good question. Well, I'll tell you one story. So basically, before TikTok was a thing, they approached. So at the time, Instagram was the kind of main platform, and it was sort of, they've all gone through. So YouTube, really good. Then Instagram, then Facebook, then Instagram, then TikTok was like the young player. And it used to be called something else, Musically, I think it used to be called back in the day. Anyway, so TikTok was trying to get big in the UK and get more users. So they invited in like 25, 30 kind of like Instagram content creators. And I was one of the people. And they were like, look, we've got this great new platform. It's called TikTok. It's going to be the next big thing. And we want to, give you verification and we want you to start creating content for TikTok. And generally I was like, I haven't got time. TikTok's never going to be a thing. Gosh, Instagram, I'm just going to concentrate on that. How wrong, my friend. TikTok's taken over the world. So everyone that I know that then listened to them at the time, they're on like 8 million, 9 million, 20 million followers. And now here I am dancing on TikTok every day, trying to get my followers up. If only I'd listened at the time, I'd be on 25 million followers too and dancing professionally. So that's probably one thing I'd say to my younger self. Listen, dude, do TikTok. That would probably be it. But other than that, I'm very happy with the way things have gone. And yeah, I don't have regrets. I don't believe in regrets, because if you're happy where you are, you got there because of all the decisions you made. So if you were to have a time machine and go back and change one thing, you would not end up where you are now. So you can't have regrets. There's no such thing as a regret. There's just a lesson. That was a bad quote, but I just made it up. You can have that.
Thank you. That's all the questions I have. Have I missed anybody out?
Wow. I am sweating. That was intense. Did I get the job? That's what I want to know. Yes. Woohoo. I'm hired. But no, honestly, guys, thank you so much. They're all really, really great questions. You know, Josh, you did send me the questions. Can I be honest? I didn't look at them.
Fair enough.
But you know why? I did it on purpose, because I don't want to know what they are, because then you kind of give prepared answers and doesn't look good, doesn't look organic. I like being shocked by questions or not knowing, because then I can give you my thing. But what I did do, I got my wife to read them. I was like, babe, these are the questions, vet them. Anything bad, anything I should refuse. And she was like, no, they're all pretty good. So there you go. That's how I work, because it keeps it exciting for me as well, right? If I know exactly what you guys are going to ask me, then it's boring for me. But Sasha, oh, that was a good one. I'm going to think about my three wishes now. Think about it some more. I hope it was useful for you guys, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And thank you so much for having me. And again, thank you, Josh, for being so persistent and so lovely and arranging this, as you know, and thank you to all of you guys for allowing it to go ahead and happen. And thanks for everyone taking time out and joining. I appreciate you.
Thank you all very much. Thank you for joining us.
Absolute pleasure. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Brush your teeth, and good luck in your GCSEs. Good luck, guys. Go for it. Read the paper.